Today we're going to be doing a routine service on this Duracraft dual or twin window fan. It is the, well, it says Duracraft on the top, but on the bottom it says Honeywell DW, which would be Duracraft window fan, DW-CV610 Series fan. This is from 1999. It's a pretty rare model. There's not many of these out there. It's a decent fan. I like it. It's pretty cool and unusual blades. So I want to make sure we keep this in good shape. It's in good working order now, and with proper maintenance it should stay that way. I just took this out to use it for the year, and I noticed that the bearings are kind of stiff. Go ahead and plug this in and we'll get a quick sample of the operation. It's not running up to full speed, and it stops real fast, so that's no good. So we need to get the bearings lubricated. It's been some time since I've last worked on this. I think it's been a couple years now. I vividly remember finding this. I believe it was back in 2018 or 2019. So now we're in 2024, so it's been a while. I'm going to grab a small piece of carpet to put down on the bench to work with so we don't get the fan all scratched up. I had carpet on the bench at the old location and I really liked it. I gotta do the same thing here. Another good thing about the carpet is it helps screws not get lost, because you put them down and they don't disappear, don't roll off the table and so forth. Okay, I need to make the tripod a little bit taller. And I'll try to lean you over the table like this as much as I can without breaking the camera. Alright, that should be pretty good. So we'll start by, this has security bits in it. That's a security bit. That's a security bit. I didn't see that coming. Alright, I have what should take that off. I have the bits for that. I'm just not sure if I can reach them down in there. I must have what I need because I've done this before. It's just been a while and I don't remember. Is that? That's how I did it. The fact that this uses security bits probably explains why there's not many of these left. I just think that's so dumb, because hardly anybody at this point in time is going to go in and perform an extensive service to a fan like this. And then Duracraft or Honeywell or whatever the heck the brand actually is finds the need to put that stupid thing on there to stop the 0.001% of people that would actually spend the time. Although, on the other hand, I suppose if you're inclined enough to go into something like this and service it like I am, you're probably not going to be stopped by a couple of security bits. This is a prime example of why you can never have too many tools, because I only use this security bit set once or twice a year, but that once or twice a year the task would not be possible without it, so it's well worth having. Alright, so it's just those 4 outer screws that are the security bits. 2 inner screws are regular Phillips. This, I think, pulls off of here. think it does. Yeah, it takes some effort, but that pulls off. And this comes right apart. There's no pesky clips like on the Holmes ones. Gosh, those things are horrible to service. Alright, so we gotta tip it over like this. Our screws are gonna fall out. That's fine. They can just sit in the carpet there. Let's turn this whole thing around to be like this. I should really just replace those screws with regular ones. Get rid of those stupid security bits. There's no reason for them. Alright, so the blades should just pull off like that. I try to hold the bearing as much as I can, because sometimes on these motors the bearings get brittle and it'll break when you do that. This doesn't need any cleaning. I haven't used it enough to require any cleaning. It's a really cool blade set. You don't see that often. Alright, so we're going to unscrew the motor. And before we remove this, I'm going to turn it on and we're just going to polish up the shaft a little bit. So I'll take a little bit of oil. And I'm just going to kind of polish up the shaft. Because we're going to pull the shaft, the bearing through the shaft. We're going to pull the bearing off, and so we want to make sure the surface of the shaft that the bearing will slide over, that it does not normally contact, is clean. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to come to the back of the motor and we're going to detach these screws, which are actually very loose. Looser than they should be. I don't know why that loosened up so much. This doesn't have a lot of hours on it since I last serviced it. Okay. Now there's going to be some air resistance because there's no hole in the back. Everything looks pretty clean in there, but it does seem kind of dry. See if we can tell which. No, they're both equally stiff. And we're just going to wipe it down real quick. There's a little bit of gummed up oil in there. See how it's already spinning better just from the cleanup. Kind of surprised that it got like that again. This was very high hours prior to when it came to me, so it has spent a good portion of its life running without proper maintenance. Now to relubricate, what we're going to do is we're going to use this oil that is specifically for fans. A picture of a fan there, right next to the lawnmower. And we're going to fill up, there's like a wicking material inside the bearing right around the bearing there. We're going to fill that up with oil. See how the oil is being absorbed into there. It's very dry. It'll take a decent amount of oil in there. So do that, let that sit for a minute. Do the same thing on the back. Put a couple drops right in the center because it's not going to leak out. It'll just get absorbed by the wick. Okay, after that's done absorbing, we'll go ahead and wipe out the excess so it doesn't drip everywhere and get oil all over the place. I can put a drop on the shaft as it slides back into place. Much better. Now you're going to find that this doesn't stick on there, and that's because there's like an air pocket in there. So you're going to have to jam in there and it'll eventually go. Now these don't need to go crazy tight. I usually say like 2-finger tight, and that's about it. Now it's locked up right now. This is not a cause for concern. It just needs to be realigned. It's a very simple process of just smacking it a couple times, and the bearings are self-aligning. They'll free right up. Just gonna move the shaft around up and down, back and forth, and it'll free right up. So for comparison, running perfect. Alright, that's one down. Just a couple minutes of maintenance makes it run so much better and for so many more years. Sadly, there's probably tens of thousands of these in the landfill somewhere, all because nobody wants to spend the time to do this, and Honeywell or Duracraft or whoever the heck makes this thing doesn't want you to do it and puts the stupid lock you out screws on there. Now there's some oil residue left on the shaft, and that's good because it'll make it easier to take the blade off next time. much more free now. So we'll just go ahead and repeat the same process on the other side. And this is not hard to do. If you are handy with a screwdriver, or if you can at least operate a screwdriver, you can do this. This one seems a little bit better, but it's getting pretty dry as well. Why is the oil green? That's bizarre. I wonder if these plastic rings are starting to deteriorate or something. Where's that green coming from? Yeah, it is coming from the thrust washers. I wonder if they're starting to break down. This is almost 25 years old, so who knows, maybe it's deteriorating. Well, if it does, we can replace those. That still won't send it to the landfill. If you meet resistance while that's sliding on and off, you have to stop and re-clean the shaft off like we did in the beginning of the video. If it's very dirty and or rusted, you'll need to use very fine sandpaper to restore the surface of it. I believe I did that on this in the initial video of this machine. That one's already pretty much aligned. Okay, easy enough. Excellent. Running much better now. Much faster. Alright, so we're done with the oil for now. So next fan that needs service. So this way I'll have to put all these wires back in here. Like that. Just kind of push all these into there. Make sure you get all of them. From my experience, these generally go back together pretty easily. The cord has to sit in that little channel there like that. It's not, there it goes. Oh, no, it's not. I don't know what the problem is here. I don't see any wires hanging out of that box. Alright, that time was good. Okay, so here we go with these stupid, whoa. With these stupid security bits again. I'm going to put them back just because I don't think I have any other ones that'll fit on hand, but if I had other ones I'd replace them. I knew that was going to happen. I dropped them backwards. The more yellowed one goes on the outside, and the less yellowed one goes on the inside. Now if you go back to the flow, let's not break the unit. If you go back to the beginning of the video and you play back the part where I tested it initially, you're going to hear quite a difference between that and now in terms of operation speed. Much faster now, more powerful, and spinning freely. Nice. This is now ready for use the rest of the cooling season.